All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everywhere. We are back out in these live streets for you. Got it. Another candidate spotlight. Another candidate spotlight. And this time, just like last time, we're doing exactly one of my favorite types of offices. You know what it is. We are doing another state legislative race. And it's like the world of all my favorites are coming together in one big happy bowl. And this time it is a legislative office in my home state of Missouri. That's right, child. We going back to the show me state. I don't know if I've said, but my name's Holly Holiday. I'm the president of Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, as well as the co-convener and lead organizer for Win with Black Women. And one thing you got to know when I'm coming on the live, I'm probably only talking about two things. I'm either talking about Black women, but I'm mostly talking about Black women candidates because that is my heart, soul, bread, butter, and all the things. And when I'm talking about state legislators, I am really, really excited. Why? Because state legislators are where the bread and the butter happen. Yes, the feds come with those big dollars, but think of it like this. The feds are really responsible for those big ticket items. But how are they really responsible? They do two things. They provide a little bit of regulation and a whole lot of money. But you know what happens to that money and those regulations? They all get sent to the states. And then the state folks have to decide how we spending the money, if we're taking the money, which I didn't used to be a thing, but believe it or not, states like Missouri, run by a bunch of freaking Republicans, they send the money back. We can't even get the money. Whew, that's why we need state legislators, because state legislators are the ones who get to decide. You worried about what's happening with your Medicaid or Medicare or whether or not you got expansion or not? That's a state legislative decision. You worried about whether or not your schools in your area, whether or not you have public schools or charter schools, or whether or not you have funding, for your schools, or vouchers for your schools, or whatever your school issue is. That's a state legislator. You concerned about what is going on with your rights as it relates to whether it's abortion or reproductive health care. Guess what? The courts have said that's state legislators for now. So you don't know what you're not doing when you don't vote for those state legislators. You must know who they are. Find out if they represent the people and the values and the issues that you care about, and make sure you are voting the entire ballot. And I would say of those, as much as I care about the president, and I do not skip the state legislators. All right. I've given you the background on state legislation again, because you know how excited I get when I'm getting ready to talk to a state legislator, and I'm about to do it right now. So welcome to the stage, please, Representative LaKeySha. I want to get your whole name. Oh, you don't, LaKeySha Bosley. I was trying to get the middle. LaKeySha Frazier Bosley. I want to get it all the names in, girl. Because I want to get them all in. LaKeySha Frazier Bosley from Missouri, y'all. Oh, I forgot to say, State District 79. How you doing, Representative Bosley?
I am doing well. I mean, we are 4 days away from the election. So, the energy is hype. You're getting all of the information, and I appreciate you for, providing a platform, especially with us as Black women with so many attacks on our communities and our autonomy. I appreciate you giving us the space to have the conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, we have folks that are tuning in live with us right now.
Hey, y'all.
We even have already gotten comments, so we appreciate you. You all know we are doing it with Win with Black Women. We're going to make sure folks vote, and we most importantly want to make sure that you know about the Black women on the ballot. And So today we're going to be asking Representative Bosley 3 questions. The first question is, why are you running for state representative of District 79? What is bringing you back to do it again, girl?
All over again. So I was a little bit about myself. I was 24 when I was first elected, and I was sworn in 3 days after my 25th birthday. So policy work and being a public servant is something that has been a part of my makeup since I was a young girl. So this was just a way for me to give back to my community, but also because I had so many people of my generation in my community of St. Louis, big STL, having the conversation about how policy and government does not work for them, or their vote doesn't matter. I thought it was imperative and it was important for us, as somebody who lives there, who understands how politics works, to actually show them that their votes matter. So, when I ran and after I was elected, I had a young guy who I was playing on the basketball court during my campaign at the time in 2018. And of course I beat him. And after he came back, he came to the Capitol and he was just like, oh my gosh, it works. And it was that moment that I knew that we needed to have people who look like us come from where we come from to order to show the level of representation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you hit one of my favorite words that I use all the time, and that's representation. The reason that I do what I do, and the reason that candidates like you are so important, is because of that representation. I don't know if, as you probably know, Black women sitting in the seats of state legislators don't even reach 5%. Less than 5% of all state legislators are Black women. So this is a space where we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
A long way to go.
I was actually the only Black woman to represent the city of St. Louis when I was elected and sworn in 2019.
Yeah.
I was the only Black woman representing my city.
Well, we have made a few strides since then, but we ain't done, y'all. And as Chantel says, representation matters, because she knows that is my mantra. Representation matters. And it's good that we have representation, and we all do thank you for your service. But the reality is representation matters, but getting shit done matters just as much.
Absolutely.
So as you are thinking about what's next in the state legislature, let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 is, what are the issues that you think you most want to be impactful about? Who's in the way of creating this impact?
Whew, that is a loaded question, but it is one that I am not afraid for us to answer. So during my 6 years in the legislature, Black maternal health has been one of my key points. Trying to reduce the infant and maternal mortality around and amongst Black women in Black communities and marginalized communities across the state of Missouri. And one of those big things that we were attempting to do was to do doula services and have doula services be a part and reimbursed through Medicaid. This last year, we got very, 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 very close. And by one vote, the bill died in committee because a gentleman, another representative from rural areas, thought that it had something to do with abortion and it had nothing to do with reproductive services in that way. We even allowed some of his language to get onto the bill, and he still ended up killing the bill solely because there was not a Republican co-sponsor. You also have issues within our state and within the state of Missouri, unfortunately, when it comes to criminal justice reform and prison reform. We were able to actually pass legislation for exonerees, people who were wrongfully convicted in this state, in order for them to get the same access to services that parolees get. When you're an exoneree, they pretty much just say, we're sorry, and just leave you out there by yourself, leave you to fend for yourself. And we don't want that to happen. In light of so many convictions being overturned right now in the state and across the country, we want to make sure that we at least give people some sentiment that we care, because we should care. We took their rights. So it is up to us to restore them back to their space of what would have been if they had not been wrongfully convicted. So, I mean, we could talk about economic development and what it looks like for small businesses, Black-owned small businesses, and how important it is for them to get those services. Our governor just rescinded an executive order for women-owned businesses and minority business enterprises that actually says that, hey, we need to have a feasibility study. We need to have a study that shows how these contracts are going out from the state and how they're awarding these contracts to make sure that they are equitable. And he rescinded that order with the Office of Equal Opportunity. And it's showing right now that we have so many things that are coming against us in our communities, marginalized communities across the country. We have to be lockstep, and that means we have to be stronger on the ground as well as being stronger in the legislature. You see so many legislatures, especially Republican legislatures, they are fractured because they have a lot of infighting. This is the time now where we actually mobilize and we have a 10-year plus plan on how we can move our communities forward.
I love it. And what I appreciate, what I really appreciate is the issues that you are sharing. One, it reminds people how important it is to have good state legislators. But two, it really hits at the places where we find the most vulnerability in our community, right? With our healthcare and our criminal justice system, and as we seek to be entrepreneurs. So people are loving this conversation. They are hitting the thumbs up, and we appreciate that. Continue to do that if you like what you hear. And I think it's just so important that you have hit upon that. And I will note for people that Missouri happens to be one of those states that has a super majority. And that means one party, in this case, the Republican Party, has enough power that they can veto, or they can overcome a veto of the governor. Now, the governor happens to be of the same party. So what it really means is that they will try, but thankfully we send people like Representative Bosley to steamroll the other party and not even hear their ideas. But as you can see, they know how to get things done, and she specifically knows how to get things done. And we want to make sure that we're sending people who not only have good ideas, but can do exactly that, and that is get stuff done. Whether you're in a majority party or not, state legislators also have the ability to call upon and call to the table folks working in state agencies. And so they can impact a lot about what is happening in your world. I am so jazzed up and so excited about this conversation. It is an opportunity not only for us to hear your points of view, and they're so aligned and so important to what's really happening in our families and communities, but also just to help people understand what it takes to get stuff done. So even though I am from the west side of the state, I am excited about hearing question number 3. And question number 3 is, what gets you excited or makes you proud about your district? Assume I have never been there. Assume our audience has never been there. Show off a little bit and tell us some things that are amazing about your district.
I tell people this all the time. I have the best darn district in the entire state of Missouri. And I know that I get a lot of flack from my other representative and my colleagues for that, but I don't care. I've got the Fox Theater in my district. I have the GRIT, the Black history museum in my district, which sits in North St. Louis. If you ever come to North St. Louis, please make sure you go check out the Black History Museum, The Grid. It is right on St. Louis Avenue. I have downtown where people love to come have fun and play, but also, most importantly, I have a district that is made up of so many families who are trying their best and families who are succeeding and who want to see better. I believe that it is beyond just stating that you have the best door district. It's actually being able to get out there, knock on the doors, but even walk my district. I have what I love to call the best area in the entire state, which is also, my neighborhood, Hyde Park. So, my mother and my father and I have lived there for over 30 plus years, and it has been a beautiful transition to see how my neighborhood has come up, and to see so many areas throughout my district actually, like they say, come from, we started from the bottom, now we're here. So I am definitely excited about all of the new development that we have coming in. We have the National Geospatial Agency that sits right in my district. We have the City Foundry. If you ever want to come and hang out, we have the mom and pop shops. I like to call them, the ones, the glue of the community that actually holds everything together. Ace's Barbecue, which never uses salt, but I tell you, their barbecue is so good. You have to go, and it is a Black-owned establishment. We have sweet treats. We have so many things that you can actually go out and explore and experience. My district is more than just a district. It is an experience, and it gives you something so real that you literally will never want to leave.
You know what I love? I love that last line, that your district is an experience. And aside from the barbecue, which I'm not gonna fight you on,
I listen.
which I'm not, we ain't about to have that kind of smoke up in here today. But aside from that, I'm excited to get back and spend some time in your district. I think it sounds amazing. I know that the other residents of your district are join you in that sense of pride. We're getting more hearts and thumbs up for that. So you all know what to do. We are 4 days away from the election. So that means, one, there's still time to vote. And I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all do not follow me on Facebook, you may not have seen it. I probably need to post it across all my platforms. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you don't vote, just go ahead and unfollow me, because we ain't friends no more. I'm being honest. I'm being my feelings. I'm being my feelings. And I want you to be aware of exactly what's on your ballot.
That's right.
Including candidates like LaKeySha Bosley. It is so important. And so where are you going to find some of these candidates? Well, go to Sisters Lead, sistersvote.org, and it will tell you all of the Black women running for office in your state by state. It will tell you exactly what they're running for. It will give you their name. And in most cases, it will even give you their photo so that you can kind of see. You probably have seen them around if you didn't recognize their name. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's the person who's been doing such and such. It's important for you to understand that we all have options and that representation truly matters. So we know you're going to vote. If you're watching this, I already know you're going to vote. I already know that you are going to vote. But now I need you to do something else. I need you to do a little bit more. I need you to take this video and share this with the people that you know in Missouri. Let them know about Representative LaKeySha Bosley. I need you to share this content and remind them that we have amazing representation here, that we have people who really care about what's happening in our community and are willing to stand up and fight, not just for us, with us, because we're going to keep fighting too. And so where can you find her? Well, let me tell you where you can find her. You can find her at Team Bosley MO79 on all your social media platforms. At Team Bosley MO for Missouri 79. So I want you to go. I want you to reach out. I want you to do all the things. Yep. If you are watching this, we'll put the link. You can take this link and you can share, share, share. Hit those link share buttons right there at the bottom of this video screen that you see on your social. We are on all the platforms right now. So please, please, please do that. And y'all, we are almost finished because with election day coming up, we got one more spotlight for you, and it happens today at 4 o'clock. So join us today at 4 p.m. for our sadly, last candidate spotlight before we go full hog election mode. And yes, it is another state representative, Don Richardson, this time from the great state of Texas, who also does not have barbecue as good as Kansas City, but they got barbecue too. We ain't getting into no barbecue wars, but I'm just saying. And so join us today at 4 p.m. so you can get a little bit of insight on Don Richardson. And hey, what can I say? We need everybody to vote. I'd like to thank especially Representative LaKeySha Frazier Bosley for being a part of our candidate spotlight today. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I give you back your time because I know we're 4 days out, even though you're got a little head cold. It was good to have you here. And I just want to say, and to the people watching, Tiffany Morris thanks me and thanking you for sharing this info and wishing you the best, LaKeySha. So thank you, Tiffany, for sharing and watching. For now, that is all. We'll be back today at 4 p.m. for Don Richardson, another state representative, one of my favorite offices. So don't forget to check us out at 4. And whatever you do, wherever you are, please vote or unfollow me. You got choices. All right. Yes, definitely. All right, y'all. Till next time. See you this afternoon.